Hello everybody, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the Marvel Legends 2-pack, Captain Marvel and Doctor Doom. Now, I find this to be an interesting set because these are two great characters, obviously, but the way they look and the costumes are in, I feel like they should have been part of the Secret Wars line that just recently came out. I've done a review on all those if you want to check that out, but they definitely belong with those figures. So I would have liked to have seen these two part of that pack because you have the original female Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, and then the way how Doctor Doom is dressed, he looks like he's straight from that comic book series. So, I don't know why they weren't part of that. I think it would have been really cool, but still, we got these figures. So I'm really excited to be looking at them. So first off, I want to thank everybody who has subscribed. You're very much appreciated. And for anybody who watches this review and like it, if you haven't subscribed, then I please ask that you subscribe and check out my Marvel playlist as well. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. All right, so here's the two of them in packaging. I find this packaging to be okay. I mean, it's very white. It looks really nice. But first off, you have Marvel Legends up here. Captain Marvel versus Doctor Doom. All right, you got a picture of both figures. Now, this is what I was talking about here. So you see this blue coloring here? Right here, this is straight up art from the cover of one of the Secret Wars books. I forget what number it is. But yeah, that is definitely from it. And I think even this is from inside as well. So you have your age restriction, your choking hazard, Marvel Avengers Beyond Earth's Mightiest, plastic-free packaging, and Hasbro. All right, spinning around here. You got your Marvel Legends again. You have a picture of both figures, which looks really cool. And you bring it around here. And this goes back to what I was saying, because this pose of Doctor Doom is once again famous pose from that series, from the original Secret Wars. The whole way how his armor is done is definitely very Secret Wars like. Same with Monica Rambeau. She is in the same outfit that she actually wore in that particular series. So you got Marvel Legends up here, both of their names. You have your legal underneath. And then, boop. Actually, let's turn it this way so you can see it a little bit better. So you have Doctor Doom and Miss Marvel, Marvel Legends, and more comic book art. Once again, it's very much very Secret Warsy. So, that's why I feel like it should have been part of that line. And on top, you got the Avengers. And then underneath, you got your legal. So, all that being said, let's open them up and see what they're about. So here she is out of packaging. She looks great. I love the overall look to her. Now, the one thing I sort of have an issue with this figure is that they didn't give her holes in the bottom of her feet. So, it may make it a little bit difficult to have her stand when I'm moving her around. But we'll see how all this goes. So first off, let's go through her points of articulation. So her head does move. All right. Got a shoulder joint with a swivel. You have her elbow joint, and you do have a wrist joint. Okay, get this other arm up. She has a joint right here underneath the breast, but she does not have a hip joint. Okay, spin her around this way. You got a thigh joint with a swivel. Right, you got a knee joint. It's a little tight, but it is there. And she does not have a joint at the top of the boot, but she does have an ankle joint. So everything works pretty well with her. I don't have any issues with any of her joints. Again, her to stand, that's a whole nother story. There we go. Now, she does come with two alternate hands. So she comes with two fists. So she has this one here. All right. And she has this one there. Now, looking at her overall, she looks really good. I love the head sculpt for her. It definitely captures that 80s or late 70s, early 80s Marvel look. You know, it captures her original look from the Secret Wars books, because she's definitely from that, you know, no doubt about that. She has, I believe that's like a sun design or supernova type design on her chest. All right. Spin her around this way. Not a lot going on this side, but she does have, you know, the capes that connect to her arms. This is one of those rare cases where I think plastic works good with it, because if you had like cloth, it'd probably fall all over the place, unless if you have wire cloth. But the cape is in two parts. So when you lift her arm up, so you have this part here and that part simulating, you know, one stream of cape. All right, spin around to the back. Not a lot going on back here. All right. And then back to this side and around to the front. So there's not a whole lot of extra detail to her, but she doesn't need it, because this is how she was meant to look, and she looks good the way she does. The same with her accessories. She's one of those characters, and a lot of superhero characters are like this, to where they don't need hundreds of accessories. They just need to look how they should. And I feel like that this figure does that. She looks how she should be looking from the comics. So now let's swap out these hands. Should be pretty easily, to be honest with you. I don't have very many problems swapping out hands with these Marvel Legend figures. All right, so that one swapped out pretty well. Now, as far as I'm aware of, and I could be wrong with this, I think this is her first comic book figure. She may have like a movie figure, because I know she was in the Captain Marvel movie. So you might have a Rambo figure in that. But as far as I'm aware of, this is her first comic accurate figure. And, you know, I think they did a good job with her. So here he is out of packaging. He's a pretty good looking figure. I love the overall look to him. You know, he has that gloss, Doctor Doom, Secret Wars look to him. So I kind of like that. So first, we're going to start off with his points of articulation. So the head does move. You got a shoulder joint with a swivel. You got an elbow joint and a wrist joint. Okay. Bring this other arm up. You have a joint underneath his ribs. And you have a hip swivel. All right. You do have a thigh joint with a swivel. All right. And you have a knee joint. And as you can see, you also have a swivel at the top of the boot. And last but not least, an ankle joint. Probably one of the better ankle joints I've seen. A lot of times they don't move very well. So everything seems to move pretty good with him. All right, I don't have any issues with this particular figure. Now, unlike Captain Marvel, he does have holes in his feet, so I can use a stand with him. I don't know why they didn't give her holes. Maybe because her feet have heels, so maybe they figure it might be a little too hard to put the heels with holes, or even in her front of her feet are just a little bit too high up, so maybe they felt like the hole wouldn't work right in her. And also, he has a hip joint, which she doesn't. And once again, I don't know why she didn't have that, but anywho. So now let's start looking at some of his finer detail. Now here you have his head, and it's not the distorted looking Doctor Doom head from the comics. This is what he would look like before the incident happened that ruined his face. The Beyonder restored his face. That's why he looks like this in this movie. I'm sorry, on this figure. So I think that's a good rendition of that. I like the gloss to his armor, especially the green. I love that gloss green. That looks really good. So spin him around this way as he falls down. Stay on there. All right. Spin him around this way. You got the silver to his arms and legs. You got this leg band here. All right, very reminiscent of the Secret Wars comics. Back here, you got that your green and silver, and it almost has like a translucent type gloss green to it that I kind of like. All right, this side, not much different than the other side, except for it doesn't have the leg band. So overall, he's a pretty neat looking figure. I do like the overall look to him. So now he does come with a couple of accessories. Let's get this arm down. So he comes with two closed fists. So you have this one here. Okay. This one here. You got a mask for him to hold. All right. So there's his Doom mask. And then he has his normal hooded helmet face. Now, I know later on in the series, like I said, I haven't read Secret Wars in forever. I have all the books upstairs. They do wind up returning him back to his original look, so he puts his helmet back on and what have you. So, first off, let's see if this mask will actually work with either of these hands. So I would guess it would probably sit in this hand. All right. Maybe not. Let's try this hand here. Might be actually a better hand for it. Yeah, I can get that thumb through the eye socket. Oops. So that's not wanting to go on there. There we go. I put the thumb through the eye socket so it could have it hold it. So you can have him actually hold it. I think also he actually held it like this, as in taking it off. So get that wrist up a little bit. So if you want to have him hold it right position like this, you can as well. So no issues with that. Swap these heads around. All right. All right, so now you have your classic Doom look. All right. Pull these hands off of here. Excuse me. And they swapped out very well also. So I have no issues with this figure. I think he looks pretty cool all the way around. Okay, so my final thoughts on this set is I do think it's a pretty good set. Both figures, the joints work very well on them. I didn't have any issues with their joints. Her hand swapped out very good. The same with his, as well as his head. With Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel, probably my only issues with her is she didn't have a hip joint and she didn't have hole pegs in the bottom of her feet. Why? I'm not sure on that, but she does it. But her look, I do like her look. She definitely has that Secret Wars look to her. So I like her overall look. And like I said earlier, yeah, she doesn't come with a lot of accessories, but this figure doesn't need them. She is great the way she is. She doesn't need a whole bunch of extra junk, to throw into a drawer somewhere. As for him, I think he looks great. He definitely captures that whole Secret Wars look to him. I love the overall look to him. I like both heads that come with him. And yes, I do feel like these guys should have been part of the Secret Wars line of figures that recently came out, maybe part of a part wave one or a wave two, especially him, because I would have liked to have had him come with his Secret Wars shield, because the Secret Wars toy line, the good guys came with red round shields, bad guys came with like a silver riveted style square shield, which was based off of Doctor Doom. So I feel like he should have had that. But overall, would I recommend this set? Absolutely. Especially if you like 80s Marvel. These guys are great. It's a good set. They're good looking figures, and I love them. They will go very well with your Secret Wars figures. So that's definitely what I'm going to be displaying these two with. Plus, like I said, as far as I'm aware of, This is Captain Marvel's first comic book figure. I could be wrong. There might be some Toy Biz versions of her, but as far as I'm aware of, this is. And I think she looks really good. So, yes, I would recommend this set. So, with that being said, I hope you guys did like this review. If you did, go ahead and check out my Marvel playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So, until the next one, late.